The office was quiet. Then his phone blazed with an incoming call. Tick and Talk Repair.
Naoki-san, your pocket watch is finished. Come pick it up anytime.
Pocket watch? I never brought in a pocket watch. You must have the wrong customer.
No mistake. This watch belongs to you. I am quite certain.
I only left a broken wristwatch. That was weeks ago. Are you sure?
I'll explain when you arrive. Please, just come see it.
He wanted to dismiss it, but his pulse quickened.
Fine. I'll swing by after work. But this better not be some scam.
He ended the call, staring at his own wrist, the old leather strap of his only watch. An hour later, he stood outside the tiny repair shop, the sign creaking in the evening breeze. He pushed open the heavy glass door. A cloud of old brass and oil wrapped around him.
I am here about the watch, but there's definitely been a mix-up.
There's no mix-up. This is yours.
Naoki froze. Gleaming gold, intricate engravings, something ancient in his chest stirred.
I've never seen this watch before in my life.
Turn it over. Tell me what you feel.
He turned it. His thumb traced the worn engraving on the back. TS, 1972.
Those initials. They're like a dream I can't remember. Why does my heart ache? Fine, I'll take it. But I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
He left the shop with the watch heavy in his coat, a cold thread of dread and curiosity winding tight. He arrived home, set the gold watch under the lamp, and typed the serial number into the search bar, his fingers unsteady. The first result was a 10-year-old auction catalog, Estate of T. Sato, full lot listing.
Sato. My mother's maiden name. This must be a relative.
Lot 47. A gold pocket watch engraved TS, 1972, sold to an undisclosed buyer. Below the description, a grainy photograph showed an elderly man with kind eyes, holding the same watch.
That's my grandfather. I've seen that face in my mother's album.
He zoomed in. Every detail matched. The watch was never a stranger. It was a lost heirloom.
That watch repair girl, she gave me my own grandfather's watch. Why?
He printed the page, hands trembling, and drew a harsh circle around the photograph.
What else has been hidden from me? I need answers.
3 days later, his phone rang again. Tick and Talk Repair.
Naoki-san, your antique alarm clock is ready. Please come by the shop.
Another watch. I only brought in one broken wristwatch. This is getting ridiculous.
He went straight to the shop, the auction printout folded tight in his pocket.
I know these watches aren't random. They were my grandfather's. Weren't they?
This alarm clock is yours as well. Please take it.
The brass face gleamed, every gear a testament to the same masterful hand.
You are hiding something. Why won't you tell me the truth?
They belong to you. That is all I can say.
He left the shop with 2 lost heirlooms now. Back home, he set them side by side, a family tree forged in metal. He combed through every listing from that estate sale. All 47 lots. Lot after lot of his grandfather's creations. Chronometers, alarm clocks, wristwatches, sold to the same anonymous buyer. He accessed public records and traced the buyer to a shell company registered at a familiar address. The address matched Tick and Talk Repair, the same shop where Mio worked.
She didn't just find these watches. She bought them all years ago.
He cross-referenced auction dates with Mio's registration. She started buying at 17.
A teenager bought my grandfather's entire life's work, and now she's giving it to me piece by piece.
He printed the evidence, each page adding weight to a truth he couldn't yet name.
I am done waiting for answers. She'll tell me everything tonight.
He grabbed his coat, the printouts heavy in his pocket, and walked into the night toward the little shop and the woman who had collected his family's ghosts. The shop door chimed. Mio looked up, and the smile on her lips died when she saw his expression.
No more evasions. I know you bought every single watch from my grandfather's estate.
Her hands shook as she touched the papers. Her breath caught.
Yes, I am the buyer, but I can't explain why.
Why not? What could possibly stop you from telling me the truth?
Please, just a little more time. I am begging you.
Look at her. She's terrified, but not of me. What is she protecting? Every time I walk through that door, you hand me another piece of my family's ghost. but you won't give me the story. I am done waiting.
Her mouth opened, but no sound came. A secret locked behind her teeth, too heavy to speak. He turned his back and walked out, the silence behind him heavier than every clock in the room. Naoki sat across from his mother in her small living room, the scent of old tea, memory, and the ticking of an old clock clinging to the air.
Mom, tell me about grandfather. What really happened to his workshop and his watches?
His mother's teacup paused halfway to her lips, a decade-old silence breaking. She described a watchmaker whose hands could mend anything, but who died in debt, his entire collection sold at auction.
Debt? A collection that valuable wiped out? That doesn't make sense. Was there someone with him? A young apprentice, maybe.
His mother nodded, her voice softer. A girl with silver hair. She stayed until the very end.
Silver hair. Just like the repair girl. So Mio really was part of his life.
When Naoki asked about his father's involvement, his mother turned away. Your father handled the estate. He never wanted you involved.
My father knew everything. He's been hiding this for a reason. I'm going to find out why.
When the call came this time, it was for a marine chronometer, a massive brass instrument that had once guided ships across oceans. He didn't argue. He went straight to the shop, the door chime sounding like a verdict.
I talked to my mother. She told me about the apprentice, a girl with silver hair, just like yours.
You know. Then you must understand, I could never lie to you about this. I was that apprentice. I was 17 when I promised your grandfather I would find every watch. After the auction, I bought them back one by one. Every piece you've been given, I restored myself. I waited 5 years for you to walk through that door. Your broken wristwatch was the signal I'd been praying for.
All those years, she carried a dead man's wish, and I called her a scam.
There's more you need to know. About why the collection was auctioned, but I can't be the one to tell you.
Her words hung in the air, a promise half kept. Naoki knew the true wound lay somewhere deeper, stitched into the name he'd inherited.
Then let me help you finish the restoration. Show me how.
Mio placed the heavy chronometer on the bench. Its brass casing was tarnished, but the movement inside still pulsed with a faint, stubborn life.
These were his favorite tools. Every scratch on the handles tells a repair story. He used to say that a watch soul lives in its gears. If you listen, it tells you what it needs.
I never really knew him. But here in this room, I can almost feel his hands guiding mine.
She guided his fingers to a tiny escapement wheel, and together they set it right, his hand over hers, 2 generations bridging a decade of silence.
You have his patience. He would be proud of you.
I spent my whole life thinking he was just a name in an old photo. Now I am holding his legacy in my hands because of you.
For a long moment, the only sound was the ticking of 100 clocks, each one a heartbeat restored.
Whatever secret my father is hiding, it won't break what she built. I am ready to face it.
As the chronometer's gears caught and ticked, Mio's hands stilled. The room felt colder, the light thinner.
Naoki, there's something I haven't told you about why the collection was really sold. It wasn't just debt. Your father forced the auction. He took every watch to a dealer the day after the funeral.
My father, he didn't just hide it. He sold my grandfather's life like junk.
He pocketed the money and told everyone the watches were worthless. I've been hiding that truth for years.
She pulled a yellowed envelope from the workbench drawer, his grandfather's handwriting, elegant and faded. To Naoki.
Your grandfather wrote you a letter before he died. I was supposed to give it to you when you were ready.
He knew I'd find out someday. This letter has been waiting for me longer than I've been an adult.
The image of his father, cold and indifferent, counting money he had no right to take. Naoki took the envelope. He didn't open it. He just held it, afraid the weight of his grandfather's last words might shatter him. He walked out of the shop, the envelope secure in his pocket. His phone buzzed. He already knew who to call.
Father, I know what you did to grandfather's collection. Tell me the truth.
So you finally dug it up. Those watches were worthless trinkets. I needed the money.
Worthless. He calls the life's work of a master worthless. You sold his legacy like junk and lied to me my whole life.
Don't be dramatic. You wouldn't understand what it took to keep the family afloat.
Naoki's grip on the phone tightened until his knuckles went white.
I am done. You are not my father anymore. Don't contact me again.
He ended the call. Then, with a single motion, he dropped the framed family photo from his shelf, glass shattering across the floor. He walked past her into the workshop, closed the door, and sat alone at the bench, the unopened letter resting before him. He broke the seal. The paper was brittle, the ink faded, but the words struck like a living voice. My dear Naoki, if you are reading this, you have found my watches. I am sorry I could not give them to you myself. Your father never understood their worth. He will sell them for money, but I trust you will see their true value. Mio has promised to guard my legacy for you. She is my last gift to you both. Trust her. These watches are my heartbeat. Take care of them, and we will never be apart. The letter slipped from his fingers. A sob broke from his chest, raw and unexpected.
He loved me. Even when my own father threw his life's work away, he believed I would come. I won't let his trust die in a dusty shop. I'll rebuild everything he lost.
Wiping his eyes, he stood before the display case where the watches Mio had restored gleamed like promises.
This is my inheritance. Not money, not anger. Time itself, waiting to be wound again.
When he stepped out of the workshop, Mio was waiting. In her hands, a thick bundle of envelopes, all stamped with red overdue notices.
Naoki, there's something else. The shop, it's deeply in debt. Buying back the watches drained my savings. I couldn't keep up with the rent. We have 1 month before eviction.
The weight of every restored watch now pressed down on him, not as treasure, but as a ticking debt. The shop that housed his grandfather's legacy was a sinking ship, and Mio had been bailing water alone for years.
How much do you need to stay afloat?
More than I can ever repay. I didn't want to burden you with this.
My savings could cover it, but that's everything I have. No safety net.
The silence between them stretched, broken only by the ticking of 100 clocks.
Let it close, and his grandfather's last wish dies. Save it, and I lose everything I've built.
He left the shop without an answer, walking the empty streets until dawn bled through the clouds.
His letter said the watches are his heartbeat. I can't let that heartbeat stop.
He found himself standing across from the shop. The workshop light was still on, a single silhouette bent over a bench.
She never stopped working. For 5 years, she never stopped believing.
When the bank opened, he withdrew every yen of his savings. The teller's eyes widened, but he didn't hesitate.
Here. This should cover the arrears in the next 3 months.
But this is all you have. I can't accept.
You already gave 5 years of your life for this place. This is nothing compared to that.
Her tears finally fell as she took the money. For the first time in years, the shop felt like it could breathe. But the debt to the bank was only one kind. The other name on the lease was still a ghost, and Naoki knew his father would not stay silent. 2 days later, the shop door slammed open. Naoki's father strode in, a lawyer in tow, brandishing a thick envelope.
This shop and every watch inside belong to my father's estate, which I control. I am reclaiming them immediately.
You already sold everything once. You have no right to anything here.
I have the original lease and estate documents. The law is on my side, boy.
While they argued, Mio slipped away into the workshop. Her fingers traced the old bench's underside, finding a false bottom.
Naoki, there's a hidden compartment here. It's a leather folder, old sealed with wax.
Inside, a legal document with a faded crimson seal. At the top, in elegant script, last will and testament of T. Sato. I leave my entire workshop, all tools and every watch to my grandson, Naoki Sato. My son is explicitly excluded from this inheritance.
He knew you would try this. Even from beyond, he protected what mattered.
The lawyer nodded. The seal was genuine. The father's face went gray as he turned and stormed out, leaving only the ticking of 100 clocks. After the door slammed shut, Naoki and Mio stood in the sudden quiet, the weight of victory slowly settling on their shoulders.
This place is ours now, legally. But a will can't make it alive again. We have to do that ourselves.
He always dreamed of a shop full of ticking, the sound of lives connected, of teaching someone to care as much as he did.
He imagined a future where someone would love this work the way he did, and Mio kept that hope alive. Then let's make it happen. I'll learn, teach me, and together we'll bring this shop back to what it was meant to be.
Day after day, they scrubbed, painted, and polished every corner. Old tools were restored, new displays built, and slowly the shop began to breathe again. Naoki worked late into the nights, learning to handle tweezers and loop, his hands growing steadier, his purpose clearer with every repaired gear. Mio watched from across the workshop, her tired eyes bright with something she hadn't felt in years. Hope. The sign was repainted, the windows dressed, and every watch in the collection was polished to a mirror gleam. The shop was transformed.
Tomorrow, we open. Not just a shop, but a promise. He'd be proud, Mio.
Morning light slanted through the freshly cleaned windows as the old open sign turned for the first time in a decade. Customers trickled in, then poured. Old neighbors, curious passers-by, and serious collectors drawn by whispers of a resurrected legend. The display cases held all 47 watches, each restored to perfection, gleaming like a timeline of a master's love.
That pocket watch you are holding was the first one restored. It's got a story that spans 2 generations.
The balance wheel on this marine chronometer was seized for years. It took 6 months of gentle coaxing to free it.
They moved around each other like 2 hands on a single clock, Naoki selling, Mio explaining the craft, never missing a beat.
A month ago, I was an office worker with a broken wristwatch. Now I am part of something that was almost erased.
The air thickened with nostalgia. Elderly customers sharing memories of the original shop, younger ones discovering a lost art.
This is what he imagined. People holding time in their hands, feeling the weight of someone else's heartbeat.
By closing time, the shop was quiet again, but its pulse was stronger than ever. And somewhere beneath her smile, Mio still held a secret. After locking up, Naoki faced Mio. The question he'd held back finally broke free.
You gave up everything for this. Why? I was nobody to you.
You were never nobody. He spoke of you daily, showed me your photo every single day. When he was dying, his only fear was you'd never know him. He asked me to watch over you, so I did. I followed your life from a distance. Your graduation, your first job. I was there.
Her voice trembled. The confession felt like a dam breaking after years of silence.
I waited until you were ready. The broken wristwatch was my sign.
She's been a shadow all this time, protecting a legacy that was always meant to find me.
The full weight of her sacrifice crashed into him, a debt no money could ever repay.
You didn't just keep a promise. You kept him alive. And you kept me from being lost.
Naoki reached out, taking her trembling hand in his. His grip was steady, certain.
This shop can't exist without you. Not as a worker, but as master craftswoman, my partner.
But I am not family. I was just an apprentice who couldn't let go.
You are more family than my own blood. His letter said you were a gift to us both. He meant it.
Her tears fell freely, a laugh breaking through, relief after a decade of holding her breath.
Then I accept. Not because I have nowhere else to go, because this shop is where I belong.
We both were searching for home, and we found it in a room full of clocks.
They stood before the display case, the collection gleaming behind them like a congregation of silent witnesses. The partnership wasn't a contract. It was the echo of a promise finally answered.
From now on, Tick and Talk Repair is ours. Let's make every second count.
5 years folded into 500 repairs. The shop became a destination, its reputation as meticulous as the hands that worked there. Naoki took on an apprentice, a quiet teenager who reminded Mio of herself at that age. She watched from her bench, eyes soft with pride. His grandfather's portrait still hung above the workbench, its gentle smile unchanged, as if approving of every repaired gear. The collection of 47 watches filled the display, each one a bead on a string of time, polished to a mirror shine. Mio sometimes still traced the engraving on the pocket watch, remembering the day a stranger walked in and became family.
You know, I used to think watches just told time. Now I know they keep promises.
Your grandfather used to say that too, word for word.
He laughed, a sound that had once been foreign in this room, now as natural as the ticking of the clocks. His grandfather's legacy was no longer a wound, It was a living inheritance, wound tight, beating steadily, and in the quiet, between the hours, the shop hummed with a chorus of tiny, faithful hearts. On a rainy Tuesday, just like the day Naoki first walked in, the shop bell chimed and a boy of about 10 stepped inside, clutching a broken wristwatch. His eyes were wide, uncertain, the same expression Naoki had worn years ago.
That's a fine old watch. Let me take a look.
She turned it over, her fingers already feeling the pulse of its broken heart. From the workshop doorway, Naoki watched. The scene was a mirror of another lifetime, a promise beginning again.
Every story starts with a broken watch. It's the repair that turns it into a legacy.
This will take some time, but we'll take good care of it.
The boy nodded, a flicker of trust in his eyes, and placed the watch on the counter. As the door closed behind him, the little shop returned to its quiet rhythm, but another thread had been woven into its long, ticking history. Somewhere in the back, the portrait of T. Satu seemed to smile just a little wider, deep within the masterwork watch. Gears turned in silent harmony, each tooth bearing 100 years. The portrait of T. Satu watched over it all, his smile as steady as the hands he once guided. The workshop air was thick with oil and metal, but lighter now, unburdened. Through a loop, the tiny watch world stretched into a universe, each part a star aligned. Mio paused beneath the portrait, not to mourn, but to share a quiet thanks. Naoki's bench was cluttered with his own projects, his name known among collectors. The chronometer that once guided ships now kept time for a new generation, its heartbeat steady. Outside, the city rushed, but inside Tick and Talk, every second was tethered to memory. Time, once stolen and scattered, was now their inheritance, wound tight, loved and alive. And as the shop settled into the hush of evening, the clocks carried on, a chorus of faithful hearts.